And we are here. Welcome to Falcon Field here at East Kentwood High School. The East Kentwood Falcons taking on the Grand Rapids Union Redhawks here, our final baseball game, and we brought out the big guns. Mr. Kyle Teague himself making his debut in the broadcast
Yes,
booth.
yes. Thanks for inviting me in on a beautiful Friday.
Yes, you are going to bring all of the expertise here. So both teams 4-17. Well, EK 4-17, Redhawks 4-16. How do you kind of stay in it this late in the season?
You know, one thing when the record isn't the way you want it to be, the weather starts getting warm and it's baseball time. It's a lot easier to get it going when it's a beautiful 65-degree day in the late spring here. I think that the Falcons will bring their A game out. They got one more conference series next week, and you'd love to get a little momentum rolling into that. And then everybody makes districts at this level, so anybody can win a game in
Yeah,
playoffs.
absolutely. Number 12, Caleb Swanger getting the start for EK, his first ever varsity start. He was recently moved up from JV. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits with an ERA of 3.5. 7 walks to 3 strikeouts, though. So hopefully he's able to keep those down today against a Union team that is also struggling. Some of the big guys for Grand Rapids Union, Braden Queiser, he's hitting 320-16. Braden Reness 302. Charlie Jones batting 300. So they have some decent bats there in the heart of their lineup. For East Kentwood, coming off a couple tough losses recently, they did beat GR Union in the year's first meeting, 13-2. Landon Stormers went a complete game there. But you mentioned too and brought up a good point. They've already played at least 3 games this week, so the rotation's a little bit different tonight.
Yeah, they're digging deep into the rotation here. I believe Swanger's coming up from JV, so it's a great opportunity to get some exposure, and hopefully he's a little more settled in this time. It's all about throwing strikes. That'll be the most important thing today.
Absolutely. So number 3, Braden Queiser leading off for the Redhawks. And Swanger gets him first pitch swinging.
Yeah, I got him a little bit out in front on the first pitch there. Nice location, low and away.
One of the things we've seen from both Falcon baseball and softball this year is that second or third time that the pitcher sees a batter, he's going to call that one a strike too. That second or third time they see a batter, that's when, and at least in the last couple of games, the other teams have been able to get a run or two in some cases. And Swanger gets him strike 3 swinging.
That's an excellent 0-2 pitch right there. Gets a call a little bit off the plate on 0-1 and goes right back to it 0-2. If he's going to get that little arm side run from the lefty, he's going to work well today.
Reness up to bat for Union. If you're seeing a pitcher, say you're a player on Union, you're seeing a pitcher called up from JV, are you trying to jump on him early?
Absolutely. If you see, well, first you'd like to see if he can hit the strike zone, but after you see 1, 2, 3, you got to be ready for the fastball. There's no reason to wait around.
Swanger working right out of the stretch. No strike there.
Pounded outside corner. If the umpire's going to give it to you, don't give it up. Keep going back there.
The 1-1. Got him swinging there too.
Going right after him. Love to see the aggressive approach out of the youngster.
Definitely got to build the confidence a little bit too. If you get a first pitch or a first at bat swinging strikeout, and he's going to go 2 for 2. Great debut so far for Caleb Swanger on the mound.
That's how you like to see it. Keep the ball low, hitting his spots. Like to see 1, 2, 3 here and get the bats up to the plate right away.
Nigel Doyle up to bat for Grand Rapids Union. .391 on base percentage for him. Strike there. Good job of framing that one by behind the plate, Nash Ottaway. Next one misses down and in, ball 1.
Not a bad off-speed pitch there. Going for the back foot. Trying to mix up the looks for the hitter.
That one inside, and they're going to plunk him, so that'll put a runner on for Union.
Yep. That'll happen. Pull your breaking ball a little bit too much and right off the back toe.
That was the first at bat at least we've seen him kind of work that inside. He missed twice inside, so we'll see if he goes back to that outer part of the zone that was working. Eli Meyer up to bat now for Grand Rapids Union.
Yeah, as a pitcher myself, you always like to throw it all a little bit early, see how it feels, but love to see him just keep pounding that outside corner with the fastball until it stops working.
As Union's courtesy runner takes first base. First pitch, up and away. So for EK, not too much longer for a lot of these seniors. They have one more week here to play at Falcon Field. Strike one. So the likes of Cam Singer, Landon Storms, Drew Burton, of course, considered the big three. The 1-1 swung on and missed, strike two.
Yeah, got him out in front there. We'll see if he goes back to that off speed after getting a little bit away from him on the last batter.
Yeah, he's doing a really great job working that outside part of the plate. Ottaway is going to set up a little higher. Elevates that one. That one's popped up behind second base, going back, and makes the catch for out number 3. So a very good debut inning there for Caleb Swanger. We'll take a 30-second break and come back.
What's up, Falcon fans? It's your girl, Erica. And if you want to catch all the action from the sports, activities, and events happening at EK, then use the QR code to subscribe to Falcon News Network on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. Your support means so much to us, and we are excited to show you all of the amazing things happening at East Kentwood. Now, let's flip it back to the game.
And back at Falcon Field here for the bottom of the first inning. Number 1, Cam Singer, going to be leading off for EK in just a few minutes. He's hitting .308 on the year. 4 stolen bases, 6 RBIs, 18 runs scored for him. Certainly providing the offense for the Falcons. Drew Burton batting .293. You'll see a lot of him. Landon Storms batting .267. But then, Teague, you also mentioned, and something we noticed as we're looking through the statistics, after that big top 3, the Falcon bats have kind of been struggling this year. Does that add pressure to those 3, or does that add more pressure to the guys that haven't quite been able to put the bat to the ball lately?
Yeah, baseball is one of those sports where everybody just has to do their own job. It is really the most individualistic of the team sports. So it's hard. You feel like you need to do more, but it really is just a next man up mentality. You got to string a couple of hits together, a couple of good at bats, maybe get a walk, a hit by pitch, and see what you can do when your offense is struggling. Every run counts at that point.
Absolutely. So we'll see what Cam Singer can do to set the tone for the Falcons. And first pitch, he's going to take it, and that one's going to loop in there for a base hit. So a leadoff single, first pitch swinging for Cam Singer.
Yeah, it looked like that might have been a bit of a slider or breaking ball. First pitch of the game. Gets him a little out front, but stays back on it just enough to get it over the second base head.
So leadoff runner aboard for Landon Storms. And he's going to look to lay it down. Pitches high. Ball 1. Throw in there. Bounces once, bounces twice. Bounces into center field. The runner is going to hold, though. So good job there.
Love the aggression. Great time to steal first pitch. You got to make the pitcher prove that they can hold the runner. If they can't hold the runner, then second base is going to be open all day.
First baseman playing in for Union. Still looking for a potential bunt. Second base shortstop checking in. Long look back, and Storms will finally step out.
Yeah, you love to see that aggressive lead. I don't think he's stealing here, but you get a big enough lead, you're really getting that pitcher's head after stealing on the first pitch.
Swing, fouled away.
Really got to move the runner over here. You can't afford to lose an out. Whatever happens, you'd love to get a hit, but you cannot leave that guy on second. Got to get him to third.
First baseman still a few steps onto the grass. And the pitch low.
Nice
Singer
block
thought
out of the
about it.
catcher there. Nice aggressive secondary.
Catcher's going to go out and talk to him. Yeah, Singer, he was ready. If that ball, if the catcher popped up and turned around searching for that baseball, Singer was going.
And if you get a large enough lead and take that aggressive secondary, you can start to read those balls in the dirt and start to take off instinctively. That's kind of that next step of base running from this level, is really anticipating that ball when it's halfway home.
And the pitch from Jones is high, ball 3. So 3-1 count for Landon Storms. And the pitch is low, ball 4. So both of the first batters for the Falcons reach, and that'll bring up Drew Burton.
Yeah, great start for the offense. I mean, it's even what we were talking about before. When you're hurting for runs, you cannot squander opportunities like this. So when you get one of your big boys up to the plate, need to deliver.
Burton batting .293, leads the team in RBI 13, the only member of the Falcons in double digits. So you'd love to add on a couple more here. First pitch, that one's going to get behind the catcher, and both runners will advance.
Yeah, another first pitch breaking ball there. So Falcons are going to see a mix of pitches today. There's not going to be easy to sit on a first pitch fastball, that's for sure. Looks like he called that a strike.
Oh, they call that a... Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if the catcher just missed it or what happened, but yeah, we got a pass ball strike.
Third baseman onto the grass now for Union. Pitch away. That one's a ball. Burton, 17 hits on the year. It's good for second on the team behind Cam Singer. Calls that one a strike.
Yeah, that outside corner is going to be there all day. You saw it in the top of the first, and you're going to see it in the bottom of the first. So it's just an adjustment you have to make.
We'll see if he goes back there, 1-2. Tried for it. Bit outside there, 2-2.
Yeah, you just not need to do your job here with 2 strikes. You got no outs. Anything but a pop-up scores a run.
And that one outside, full count.
Big pitch here. Wonder if we'll see that breaking ball again, since it seems to be the most comfortable pitch.
And the full count pitch is...
And we did. He brings the breaking ball out and buries it.
So bases loaded now for number 5, Jacoby Chapek. Chapek, 7 hits on the year, 9 RBI. That's tied for second on the team. And he'll look to do that. And a quick visit to the mound for Union and their team. If you're the coach, what are you telling your pitcher right now?
Well, you're trying to settle him down. Obviously, you got a lot of balls coming out, so you need to start throwing strikes. But he's probably just organizing the infield, seeing where they want to look. I wouldn't expect everybody to be playing in here. You might see him playing back up the middle, trying to turn 2. If that's the case, ground ball up the middle is going to score a run. So a lot of options here. I will say on that full count breaking ball, not necessarily a terrible pitch, because you got first base open. So now you're creating force outs across the diamond, and you have the 3-hole hitter up, so you don't want to lay one right over the plate for him.
So first pitch, bases loaded for Chapek. Gets him swinging at that one down and away.
Yeah, we've got the middle infield kind of halfway. It doesn't look like they're in enough to come home, so anything up the middle will score a run.
First and third playing in the grass. Second pitch, that was a big swing at the elevated fastball, strike 2. Falcons would certainly like to avoid the strikeout. Just need to get something in play. And that one's going to be popped up back behind us.
Yep, good fight, getting a piece of it. But this is, again, that moment we were talking about with a struggling offense.
Mhm.
Everybody's got to do their job. Huge at bat in the game, even in the bottom of the first.
The 0-2. Swung on a missed for the strikeout. I think he chased both of those pitches up in the zone. He was trying to lay down the lumber. That was for sure. He was swinging big.
Yeah,
you saw that back foot come out from behind him twice.
Yeah, the head pulls a little bit. It's just trying to do a little bit too much. A single here is going to be, nearly as valuable as that grand slam that everybody would love to see.
Colin Cole up to bat now for EK. Swings and misses strike one.
Yeah, it's going to be a steady dose of breaking balls today. Seems to be the go-to pitch.
The 0-1 swung on a miss one more time. So he swung below both of those. We'll see if he goes there a third consecutive time. And he puts it up, but lays off at this time. 2-1.
Yep, good leave.
1-2.
Yeah, the fastball has been really successful going up. It's going to be important for the Falcons to start laying off that.
See if he goes back down and away with a breaking ball. He's had 3 straight elevated. And that one outside, ball 2.
Good job working it back in. Would not be shocked one bit if that breaking ball comes out here.
First base barely onto the grass. There's that breaking ball. Fouled away. Oh, no, they're going to say...
Yep, didn't get a piece
drop.
of it.
Got it.
Yep, with the all bases occupied, no need to tag him.
So back-to-back strikeouts. Really good job so far for Charlie Jones battling back. Nash Ottaway up to bat now. Third base steps back to his regular position after playing the last 2 outs in. First base playing right on the grass infield line. Ottaway first pitch swinging, foul back behind first.
Yeah, now as a hitter, you definitely feel the pressure on you a little bit. You hate to walk away from this inning without a run. So we'll see if we got a little clutch factor coming in.
Ottaway leads the Falcons in on-base percentage. Oh, and one down and away. That one gets away from the catcher, but not far enough.
Yeah, nice play by the catcher to get out there and get anything on it to prevent a run.
So it'll be 1-1 once Jones gets back on the mound. Left field also playing very much in.
Yeah, it's going to be imperative to hold up. I don't know about that call, Blue. That looked a little suspect there, but you got 1-2, and now tough count to battle back from.
Yeah, Charlie Jones, 1 strike away from working out a bases loaded, no outs. That one's down and away.
It's good leave there. I don't have the exact count, but I'd be willing to bet there's been far more balls than strikes this inning. So I'd love to see a nice patient approach going forward, run that pitch count up.
The 2-2, down and away again, full count.
Full count, third time this inning. We've seen breaking ball happen every time. I'll be curious to see if we see the elevated fastball or if he goes back to the bread and butter.
Runners going here, you think?
Yeah,
yep, there they go. And got him looking.
Yep, got that low outside corner. It's been there so far today, so you just got to be ready for it. It's a great pitch execution and a big disappointment for the Falcons.
Great job by Charlie Jones to get out of the jam. We'll take 30 and come back.
What's up, Falcon fans? It's your girl Erica, and if you want to catch all the action from the sports, activities, and events happening at EK, then use the QR code to subscribe to Falcon News Network on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. Your support means so much to us, and we are excited to show you all of the amazing things happen at East Kentwood. Now, let's flip it back to the game.
And back at Falcon Field for the top of the second. And leading off, fresh off of escaping the jam, Charlie Jones.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling good battling out of that. Bases loaded, no outs, a tough situation. But we've got a great game going for Swanger after his first two, so we might be in for a bit of a pitcher stool.
Absolutely. You know, looks like Colin Cole's behind the plate. I mistakenly called him Nash Ottaway. I was so used to Ottaway being back there all year long, but looks like Colin Cole. He's going to elevate for this one and first pitch outside.
Yep, love to see him just get back to pumping first pitch strikes, abusing that outside edge. It looks like you get a little bit, couple of balls at least off the edge.
That one's swung on and missed. I think this is our first nice weather baseball game. I mean, we've been hearing some rain, swung on, missed strike two. We had some rainy days. We've had probably the windiest sporting event today I've ever been a part of. We had freezing cold, and finally for fourth and final game, a beautiful day.
Yeah, that is Michigan baseball at its finest. You'll get all 4 seasons and then some in a baseball season.
The fact they play before spring break, like the middle of March, we're trying to play baseball in Michigan.
Yeah, and we don't get to get that luxury of pitchers and catchers with a couple of months of the warm weather either. It's no joke getting ready in early March for a baseball game.
Few teams around the area have turf as that one misses down and in. He's going to lead off walk. A couple teams in the area have turf. What do you think? Baseball and turf, fan or not?
I mean, preferably, you'd love to have, that Comerica Park grass, but unfortunately we don't have the funds or grounds crew to grow the Bermuda, every year. But turf is just a very consistent playing surface. You don't need to worry about any lips on the infield. It's really easy when it rains, it drains quick. So, I mean, if you can get access to it, it definitely makes northern baseball much more accessible.
And I imagine it's a different style or a different base than the traditional, Falcon Stadium turf. I imagine baseball is a little bit more sandy. And
for the most part, you're getting basically the stuff you see on the football
Really?
field. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So you never get a high bounce. Everything's kind of muted, which makes it really nice for your infielders. Every infielder loves a turf field.
Yeah, I was going to say I would expect the bounce. I know soccer certainly doesn't necessarily enjoy playing on turf. They get to play on Pat is grass, right? Is Pat grass or turf? Pat is turf too. I know.
Soccer-specific turf.
Yeah, soccer-specific turf. As that one's going to bounce away, and the runner's going to advance to second. So it'll be a 3-0 count.
Yep, getting a little bit away from him. Could be, a little inexperience, little nerves out there. Love to see him get back in it. Never need to give up on an at-bat here.
Swanger digs in the pitch. That one's going to be a strike.
Got that nice 3-0 extended zone. This umpire is out there to make him swing it. Yep. You know what? As a fan, you like to see it.
Gabe Bessie for Grand Rapids Union thought it was a walk. He was ready to toss the bat. He's going to foul that one away. So from 3-0, thinking he had a walk, to 3-2 now. Good job by Swanger battling back, just like he said.
And you're seeing a good mix of speeds here. You're seeing a lot of uncertain swings, contact barely off the end of the bat.
Full count pitch, bounced. Swanger's not going to be able to get to it.
Got to get rid of it.
Coming in, quick play, throw. Got him at first.
Yep, great job throwing on the run. You got the lefty kind of falling off away from that pitch, so it's kind of hard to jump off the mound. So really important to be aggressive there as second base coming in, making a nice play.
Great job, Cam Singer out there at second, getting it to Drew Burton. So runner on third, 1 out for Union.
Falcons are back up the middle, so a ground ball to short or second is going to score the run.
First and third in as that one's up and away for ball.
Outfield for both teams is very shallow today. They are playing in until they have to back up.
And I don't believe there's much, if any, of a breeze. That
No,
was
it is
swung on a
a
miss.
still day for West Michigan.
Yeah, truly not a cloud in the sky. I mean, that's a rare one. 1-1. Swanger's pitch up and away.
Yep, still hitting that outside part of the plate, just a little high there. Umpire seems to be giving a little bit on the low end and a little bit off on the outside corner.
That one's up and away. 3-1 count.
Yeah, really important to make a good pitch here. You don't want to give up a freebie, but you don't want to create another walk situation. So we'll see what he brings.
And that one fouled back, full count.
It's another excellent arm side fastball coming out of that low 3/4 slot from a lefty. You get a nice working off the plate. Really hard for the righties to stay on it. They're going to have to hit that ball the other way. There's just no chance of pulling it.
And the 3-2 from Swanger. And that one's going to be inside for the walk. So it'll be runners on the corners with one away.
Opens up a chance for the double play. Probably see the same defensive formation out there for the Falcons.
Will be a hole on the right side of the infield, though, with Drew Burton, or Landon Storms, excuse me, at first. Is that Landon through the fence? That's number 5. That's Jacoby Chapek, excuse me, over at first. He's going to hold the runner, so there is that big gap if they can steer it that way.
Got virtually no lead at first base here, so as a pitcher, I mean, give him the respect with a look, but it's all focus on the hitter here.
Swung on a miss, strike one. That outside part of the plate has been working. He's been trying to get up and away. And I suppose there's worse places to miss than up and away.
Yeah, the belt region is usually the terrible place to miss there. So a miss outside of the zone rarely hurts you.
So the 1-2, runners on the corners. Swung on a missed.
Excellent
Strike
pitch.
3.
Great job by the catch, just smothering that ball, popping up, making sure nothing's going on at first base, checking the runner at third, and we got 2 outs.
2 outs, 2 on in the top of the second for number 99, Justin Hilliard.
Still don't have much of a lead at first. Would not expect him moving.
First pitch down and in.
Great work behind the plate there. That is a tough pitch. Set up outside. Pitch gets pulled down and in, and he's got to slide near 2 feet to block it. Excellent work to save a run.
That one swung on and missed. And we'll see what Swanger comes back with. Comes back inside. That one's hit into right field and caught out there for out number 3.
And you see that shallow defensive positioning coming into play there. No problem in short right.
Yeah, that one looked like it could have been a bloop out there, but good job by the Falcons hanging on to that one. We'll keep it here. So through 2 innings for Caleb Swanger. Really great job in the first inning. A couple of strikeouts for him there. Worked out of trouble there. If you're East Kentwood, though, you can't leave the bases loaded anymore.
Yeah, you're feeling down a little bit after the first inning, but Swanger battles back, keeps the runs off the board. So time to drop it, time to forget it, and every inning's a new chance to score some more runs.
And again, this is a team that EK won earlier this year against 13-2. That was Landon Storms with 3 RBIs. Drew Burton had a pair of RBIs in that one. Singer went 1 for 3. Hovermail 3 for 4. Every Falcon starter had at least 1 hit in that one. So certainly a team that EK knows they can beat, but still have to play the game.
You can get the pitch count up on this guy, and what you're going to see is because he's shown so much of the off speed early, the second time through the order, hitters should be well adjusted to it. Typically, the higher the level of baseball you'll go, you'll see pitchers try to get through with the fastball the first time through. If you can get through without showing anything, it'll extend your, lifespan in that game a little bit. So seeing so many breaking balls coming out early and such a high pitch count, love to see some pitch recognition second time through the order.
So Grayson Shannon up to bat for EK, the sophomore shortstop. A couple hits on the year for him, 6 hits, 6 RBIs, 10 runs scored. And he would like to add to that total here to lead off the inning. He's got Bam Nettleman behind him, so a little bit of muscle behind him if he can get on base. First pitch down and away.
Yeah, he's giving it a little outside, but I don't know if he'll give it that far outside.
The 1-0 from Jones, swung on, missed.
Yep, big rip out of there. Just got to stay a little bit more than yourself.
One breaking ball. That one's going to be slapped into left field, base hit.
Yeah, it's a good piece of hitting right there. It was a little bit out front. Was able to delay it just enough to get enough barrel to get it through.
Great job by Shannon, setting the tone for the Falcons at this inning. Bam Nettleman up to bat now. Bam, 7 hits, 5 RBIs on the year, and a stolen base for him.
And we've seen a lot of pitches in the dirt so far. Love to see an aggressive approach on first base and get in second if we see another.
Shannon takes a couple steps, snap throw down to first. He'll be back safe. No stolen bases for Shannon so far this year. Big hole on the right side of the infield as first base on the bag. Third base playing in on the grass. Runner goes, swung on, missed. Ball gets past him. And an easy stolen base there. First of the year for Grayson Shannon.
Yeah, it looks like the hit and run call was on, and kind of fortunate that it wasn't a foul ball there. Love the freebie. Now you get to just swing away with a guy on second base.
Third base back to normal depth. First base playing a step or two in on the grass. And the pitch, up above his head for a ball.
Yeah, good job getting the bat out of the way there. Always a chance of those fluky foul balls or even a ball in play when it goes over the head.
How much of second base and shortstop kind of running back and forth to the bag is for the base runner versus distracting the batter?
I mean, typically you're not going to see both infielders working it. You'd prefer one to just be in their normal position. If you got both working second base, then you could have a chance where both guys are out of position. So typically it's going to be the shortstop. And usually you'll have some sort of signal where the shortstop will give it to the pitcher to know, okay, I'm leaving. It's time to deliver that pitch.
That one's up and in. Full count now. Yeah, that's the first time. We've done a couple of baseball games. It's the first time I've seen both players work it like that. You can kind of see them jumping in and out of your camera feed there. Full count pitch is low, ball 4.
Yeah, there's just not much of a benefit to both sides working the base because all you need is a coach or a teammate to let you know, okay, it's not short this time, it's second. So as long as you're vocal about it, it's not really going to trick anybody at this level or higher. So typically, it just tends to be a little bit easier for the shortstop. They're also behind the runner, so they'll kind of work as far as that runner is. So it just tends to be the norm.
Sam Hovermail up to bat. Not using his bat, though. He had the, as he lays down the bunt, runners hold. I noticed in the on-deck circle, he got the weight stuck on his bat, and he couldn't get it off, so they had to swap bats. And then as he stepped to the plate, then Cam Singer was able to get it off for him. But he's sticking with the bat.
He's got the bunting bat out right now.
Throwback late.
Yeah, I'd love to see an even more aggressive initial lead. You don't need to be very aggressive if you on your secondary if you get a big enough initial lead and the pitcher is just not getting anywhere
First base
near.
way in, playing the bunt. That one high. First base fully committed to the bunt. He was good 4 or 5 yards in the grass, then came charging in.
Yeah, this is 100% one-way bunt down the third baseline. No other options. So anything to the left half of the field will work.
Tries the bunt again. He's going to get it. And really great placement. Both runners safe and out at first.
Wow, that is a close play at first.
I thought he got pulled
The
off.
second baseman came all the way over to cover and for sure left his feet, whether he was able to retouch or not. It was bang, bang, but the Falcons are adamant that he was off the base.
And Coach Jackson's out. Not sure what the...
I mean, I don't want to blame this on the media team, but a third camera looking at first base would really come in handy now.
Yeah, where's the replay? This is a replay review getting called in from New York. But no, Coach Jackson came out and
we're gonna get a conversation. Maybe the home plate umpire had a better look at it. We'll see if he's got it.
and they're gonna keep the call as out.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where two-man umpiring crew sometimes it's just hard to see without the dedicated ump over there on first base.
Absolutely, and that's something too. If you're ever interested in umpiring, you can check out the MHSAA website. All the classes and courses you can take to help out, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, you name it.
I will say, don't want to take away from the excellent bunt though. Place
Yeah,
the ball
outstanding.
halfway
Great
between
job.
the pitcher, zero chance of any plays with forward runners, and made it a bang bang play. So excellent work moving him over.
That one's outside.
Yeah, and you can see a nice patient approach out of the Falcons. It's going to be really important because it's going to be a day where there's a lot of balls thrown, so you don't want to give any free strikes.
2-0 count to the Falcons' leading hitter. And that'll be ball 3. That one bounces away, but good job by the catcher of able to manage it.
Yeah, both catchers have had some great plays with runners on third base to keep the ball in front. I think the only ball that's gotten past was actually called a strike.
So 3-0 count. Landon Storms on deck. Taken all the way. And again, Cam Singer, second batter tonight that thought it was ball 4. He took a couple steps towards first.
Yeah, there was a bit of a delay in the strike call. It's one of those moments where you're like, is it, isn't it?
He was taken all the way, though. 3-1. That one will put him on first
Got
base.
bases loaded again here. So we are in a familiar position. 1 out this time. We've got the middle infield playing back, playing for the double play. We've got the corners in. So it looks like third and first will be delivering the ball home if they just get a ground ball.
Storm 16 hits, 9 RBI on the year, tied for second. First pitch away.
Yep, good leave there. Good leave there. With the outside corner being a little expanded, it can be hard to lay off, but great take.
That one down and away.
Man, you're in the driver's seat now, 2-0. I like being aggressive, but you have to know your pitch. One pitch only here. You got a lot to work with.
2-0, swings up the middle. Fielded it short, flip to second for 1. Throw to first is in time. And again, a really, really close call. Falcons can't believe it.
Yeah, it's a good play up the middle there. Quick hands by the shortstop and second baseman. Bang, bang play, but looks like they did get him. So another unfortunate bases loaded 0 out of the Falcons.
So that is now 6 runners left on base through the first 2 innings for EK, and a pair of really close calls, and this one could have gone the other way. You go back to that original bunt that Coach Jackson came out to kind of call the review on. Again, a beautiful bunt by Sam Hovermail, a sack bunt either way, but he was maybe an inch or 2 away, half a step away from loading the bases on a bunt single. That would have pushed a run across.
Truly, truly is the ultimate game of inches, and the Falcons were on the wrong side of it there, but you've got Caleb Swanger dealing right now, so you got to feel good. It's unfortunate, but hey, if you load up the bases twice, you got to think the runs are coming if you keep sticking to it.
Absolutely, and credit to Charlie Jones, for Union. Loads him up in both the first and second inning and gets away unscathed both times too.
Yeah, and it wasn't an easy double play ball. I mean, we're talking about the grass turf difference. I mean, we got some thick grass on the infield, and it wasn't hit particularly well, and they were still able to turn two on it. So never like when it happens to you, but you got to tip your cap to good baseball when you see it.
Absolutely. So I'll bring number 3 up for Union, Brandon Queiser. First pitch away for the ball.
Yeah, he goes to that outside corner. It looks like the up might be bringing it in a little. That was a call that he had gotten pretty consistently the last 2 innings. 1-0 delivery. Great pitch low in the zone. Evening it up, 1-1 count. Looks like a nice mix of in and out, up and down out of Swanger. Doing a great job keeping the hitters off balance.
That one fouled back.
Yeah, I love to see 1-2 counts, 0-2, 1-2, and he's making good pitches in those counts. You don't want to serve up a freebie with so many more balls to work with in the count, but you want to make aggressive pitches, and that's what we've been seeing so far.
And that one's going to be behind the batter.
That's just, one to make the hitter remember that you're still in control out there. Hey, don't forget, I can put it behind you if I need to.
2-2 count. Up and away.
Yep, that was a designated high fastball call. You can kind of tell the catcher was setting up for it, but interesting spot for it because now it sets up 3-2.
Swanger looks in the pitch. Hits straight up behind home. And Colin Cole loses it in the sun, so it'll fall down.
That's a tough one where the sun is placed. But one thing you would like to see out of your catchers instantly turn around and face the backstop. The way that the ball spins off the bat, if you are facing out towards the field, it's incredibly difficult to get your glove on that ball. You turn around, square up to it, and it can assist you.
3-2 swung on, and that one's going to be laced into left field for a base hit.
Yep, good piece of hitting there. Hardest hit of the day so far.
And I noticed when Cole was putting his mask back on, he had an earpiece in? So do they use like pitch calling in high school?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there are teams that do use it. It used to be the kind of quarterback armbands, with grids, and
because there's a
letter number codes, but
there's plenty of those. But I noticed he put an earpiece back in, so I wonder if East Kentwood's kind of experimenting with that at all. So that one's down.
Yeah, it would be interesting if they were.
Yeah, they are. That's confirmed. So really,
it definitely helps pace of play, no doubt, and you don't need to worry about getting any of your signs stolen.
Well, no runner goes, throws high, throw to get him is in there. Oh no, they call him safe.
Yeah, it was on time, wrong side of the base. So second baseman's got to stretch, bring it all the way back across. Bang, bang play, but runners in scoring position with 0 outs.
That was a really on-it throw, though, by Colin Cole. Like you said, though, if you can just kind of put it on the opposite side of the bag, it was there. That one's inside 3-0. So just a little bit of inexperience showing for the Falcons. They got a lot of young players. You mentioned the backstop, the foul ball, the previous at-bat. Now that little bit of a throw there off the mark. Things that can definitely be worked on junior year, senior year, things like that.
Yeah, it's going to be really important for Swanger here to get mentally tough. As a young pitcher, you're dealing and a pop-up in foul territory happens that for sure should have been an out, turns into a hit. It's easy to get into your head, but good pitchers know to bear down. It's much more difficult for them to score that run than it is for you to get them out.
As that one's fouled straight back, full count.
And another full count. Let's see what Swanger brings this time. Went with the fastball low last time.
And that's where he goes and got him looking. Strike 3 called.
I'll tell you what, the bottom of the zone is still there. We've seen a couple. We even saw a ball go between the catcher's legs that got called for a strike. So it's something to know for both offenses. If it's there, you got to be ready.
That was number 15, Braden Reness, that got that one called. And he was, again, the third time tonight we've seen it. He was ready to walk to first. Throw behind him is into that outfield, and that'll advance the runner.
Yeah, unforced error there. Tough because there really wasn't even a chance at second. Looked like it might have been a predetermined pickoff play and just goes a little awry.
See Swanger shaking his head as he steps back up to the mound. So that'll be a runner on third now, 1 away.
Got the middle infielders back, so seeding the run up the middle. Corners are in, playing for 4.
Swung on, fouled away towards softball.
Yep, important pitch right there to get ahead. You need him to hit it in the air. You need a strikeout here. So getting ahead is well on your way to that.
And you got to be aware out there. That one almost took a EK freshman baseball player right in the head back there. 0-1 misses high.
Still doing a good job locating the fastball. Haven't really seen much hanging over the middle of the plate. So good position to be in. Just need to make a pitch.
Inside, bounces away, but
another great play behind the plate, keeping a run there.
Swanger, the slow walk back. Again, though, very solid performance so far through 2 1/3. Swung on a missed.
Yeah, it's been a tough day to score runs. We thought it might be a little bit of a pitcher's duel when it started, and we've seen a lot of runners stranded. Swanger's trying to do it again.
2-2, we'll see if he goes back outside. He's had a lot of success there, and he does. That one swung on, fouled away down the first base line into the bullpen.
Yeah, you got a real defensive swing just to get a piece of that. Love to see that continuation of just beating up that outside corner. If you get one low towards the knees, going to be a great pitch.
That one outside, got him looking.
I'll tell you what, that might have been in the other batter's box, but we will take it. When the umpire is giving it to you, you continue to hit your spot, they will continue to give you the pitch. That is just the way that it goes. That's the human nature of umpires. Take what they give you and abuse it when it's allowed.
And he does set up, and I don't know if this is normal, if this is standard for the umpire, but he does set up very much towards that left batter's box.
Yeah, you'll use foul tip. All right, thought I might see a pass ball. Yeah, you usually see the umpire setting up over the opposite shoulder, kind of to get the best view, but hey, if you're comfortable, I guess you go with what works.
The 0-1 outside, got him swinging. So yeah, he's very confident working that outside part of the plate. I think we've seen a couple times he tries to go inside, he kind of loses the command a little bit, but
yep, and that is a difficulty of that low 3/4 arm slot. It's really easy to pull your pitches across the plate. The ball will naturally want to run off. That looked like a little backdoor cutter slider, maybe. Great pitch.
I was surprised that I was waiting for the call. That was the home plate ump has a lot of those delayed strike 3 calls. I was waiting for that one because that looked like a beautiful pitch. The 1-2 looped into center field, settling under it and making the catches. Landon Storms, great job again by Swanger, working out of trouble to strand the runner on third.
Yep, couple unforced errors there. You had the dropped ball in foul territory, the pickoff into center field, but that's what good pitchers do. You just get over it. You realize it sucks, it happens, but you're still in the driver's seat.
And you saw the coaches right away, kind of as number 4 Colin Cole, East Kentwood's catcher, was walking off the field. They kind of just took him under the arm, and I assume told him exactly what you were telling us, like, hey, that ball's up behind you. Turn around, face the backstop, and watch out, spin him. So EK's loaded the bases in each of the first 2 innings. We'll see if they can finally push one across here in the bottom of the
Yeah, who do
third.
we got coming up in the order here?
It is going to be number 3, Drew Burton, leading things
All right.
off. The number 3 hitter. So we'll go 3, 4, 5. EK has stacked their big 3-est batters, Cam Singer, Landon Storms, and Drew Burton, 1, 2, 3. Do you like that as a coach, or would you spread them out a little bit more?
Absolutely. I want to get as many at-bats as possible for those boys. So baseball, if you're not hitting home runs or extra base hits, the reality is you're going to have to string maybe 3 singles in a row. So you want to give yourself every chance you have. You see it in the major leagues a lot. You saw it even back maybe 8, 9 years ago when Mike Trout was at his peak leading off for the Angels, not in that 3 or 4 hole. And you even saw Aaron Judge a little bit leading off occasionally. So it's something that you'll see now, and you're only leading off once. So if you can get over it, then that uncomfortability of the first inning, you're more likely to get another at-bat in the last inning.
And it is not easy to put it out of Falcon Field. 365 to center, 310 to left, 305 to right field, but the fence juts up. Goes from about I would say, a 10-foot fence to maybe 13, 14 feet down the right field line.
It's a field where a power lefty could thrive because you're almost always getting a wind blowing across left to right.
First pitch inside.
Yeah, inside corner's not very generous today, so it's just something to note as a hitter. You can feel comfortable reaching out over that plate.
And that one's away.
And we got to see the pitch count getting up there after 2 long innings. We've got bases loaded in each, sending 5, 6, 7 hitters to the plate. So this is that second time through the order where you really want to see the offense make those adjustments and get a little more comfortable.
Called strike there. Burton thought about going, but held up. But pitcher will get the call. Is there pitch limits in high school?
There are. I'm not fully updated, but typically there's an amount of pitches you're allowed to throw per day and even per week. So depending on how many you throw, you'll have guaranteed rest. I would assume anyone throwing today would be fully fresh since it is a Friday in conference play. Most teams are playing 3 games this week anyways, so we should see some fresh arms. I would not be shocked if the pitchers today get the full allotment.
And that was ball 4 that got away. But Burton kind of jogged down to first base. He wasn't looking to go to. Jacoby Chapek up to bat now. With his 7 hits, 9 RBI on the year.
Yeah, I'm sure Chapek's looking to get a more competitive at bat up this time. Squaring around a bunt.
Show him bunt, and he's going to lay it down.
And he's going to do the unselfish thing. Move that runner over to second. Well done. Don't see the 4-hole hitter dropping it down too often, but when it's called, you need to execute, and that's the way to get it done. Another runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs for the Falcons.
Pair of really good bunts so far. You saw Hobermail do it, now Chapek there.
And a bunt like that is just proof you don't have to have a perfect bunt down the line. That bunt, for all intents and purposes, was straight back to the pitcher. It's about how far you get it out there. You put it halfway between home and the pitcher's mound, you're going to have a successful bunt every time.
First pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, I'd really like to see the hitters attempt to commit to that outside pitch because there's very little getting called on the inside, so you really need to commit to getting out to that outside pitch and taking it the other way.
That one's inside, fouled up, back behind us, 0-2. So EK's leadoff runner reached 3rd time in a row.
Seen a lot of high fastballs and breaking balls in the dirt in these counts. We'll see what he brings.
Long look back to second, glances back again, now throws it in there. Bounces that one up to the plate.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot of faith in the catcher back there to block a ball like that. Breaking ball bouncing 2 feet in front of the plate, but been a great job out of both teams limiting those passed balls and free bases.
And that one laced into left center field. Center field looking for it, and he's going to make the catch. Good contact, just could not find a gap out there. And that'll be 2 out now for Nash Ottaway. 7 hits, pair RBI for him, pair of runs scored. Again, looking to try to get one into a gap, something into the outfield to try to push Drew Burton across.
Yeah,
Decent speed.
anything that touches the outfield grass has to be a play at the plate here. You know Burton's got to be scoring.
There's
with
that
2
first
outs.
pitch. First pitch outside, just like you said.
Yep. That's going to be a great pitch for everybody that throws today. You extend your fastball a few inches off the outside corner and get up 0-1 every pitch.
Bit of a weird hitch on that on that throw.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice breaking ball, but 1-1 count it is.
The 1-1 up and above his head for a ball. Yeah, that pitch before last, you saw Jones. He held his leg up a lot longer than he had the rest of the game, and I was
Little Johnny Cueto.
trying to throw the batter's timing off. That one's laced into
There's
the left.
through the hole.
And Burton's going to look, and Burton's going to hold.
Yeah. Now, I know I'd said about every ball that touches the outfield grass needs to score, but that's
That
about
was
the
a
only one you
stinger.
can. A hard hit ball to a pulled in left fielder is almost like a ground ball into the hole there. Great piece of hitting, though. Next man up. That's what baseball's all about.
Yeah, great hit there by Nash Ottaway. Again, the sophomore catcher. And now Grayson Shannon, the sophomore shortstop for EK. I know Coach Jackson said about both these guys, and he said, biggest thing's just experience, getting them in game situations. And Shannon's been the full-time starter out there. Ottaway started most of the games behind home. Quick throw to first. Got him. And picked off at first. And you can't have that.
That is unfortunate out of the Falcons. A quick pickoff to first. Bang, bang play. Doesn't get the call.
Yeah, that was some tremendous speed there by Charlie Jones to whip around and just really caught Ottaway off guard.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from our angle up here in the box whether his hand was able to get in, but you didn't see much of a reaction out of the first base coach, and you'll almost always see at least the international safe sign, when it comes out. So that is a tough break, another unforced error, and that's kind of what we talked about earlier in the broadcast. You got a young team struggling to score runs, and you just cannot afford to give away outs like that. We've stranded bases loaded twice.
2 on there,
and then you just
8 runners left on base.
Let them off the hook with another runner on third. So it's unfortunate, but for a pitcher like Swanger, you don't even look at the field when the offense is out there. This is just your game. You're going out there and pitching. It doesn't matter what the offense does. There's a lot of baseball games that finish 1-0. So
and that would be frustrating. It's a great point that you make. If you're the pitcher, you see bases loaded first inning, you're like, all right, I'm going to have a run or two to use in the second. It doesn't happen. You're like, all right, we'll go back out there. And then second inning, bases loaded again. And you're like, all right, here's the time. And then nothing happens. And you're like, all right, where's a run or two? And then again, a third inning, you leave a runner on third, runner on first. And
yeah, baseball's an easy sport to get frustrated, and then it could negatively impact your performance. It is a very mental game, a game built around failure. So it's important to get over them quickly so that you can keep 100% focused on the job at hand, which is the top of the fourth inning.
I feel like baseball is one of the easier games to use that frustration and overplay. Like you're overthrowing the pitch, you're swinging too hard. It's a lot like golf, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Not that you would know anything about playing golf poorly at all. But.
None at all. But 0-0 game, or whether it's a 10-0 game, everybody, wants to get the big hit. Everybody wants to do more to help out the team, but it really is a combination of small successes across the board from everybody that score runs and get a win in a baseball game. So that's what we really need to see, is that consistency through the whole lineup.
And that one's soft grounder to second. Singer's going to approach it. Throw. Got him at first.
Nice play coming in. Another slow one to second base. Looking really comfortable. Coming up, getting the ball right on that lip is a little nervy sometimes. You never know what that hop's going to be like, especially on a high school field in Michigan. That lip's about 2 inches going to the dirt. It is a total coin flip what you're going to get out there. So excellent play and a strong throw accurately, which is even more important.
And are noticing that flag starting to to extend out a little bit as the wind's starting to turn.
You calling your shot here?
Yeah. Yeah, coming out of the north now. It was blown right into the press box. Now it's kind of flipping down towards first base.
Yep. This is the same direction my field at Grand Valley faced, and this is the wind that you get about 95% of the time in West Michigan.
As that one's in there for the strike. Again, not a cloud in the sky, about sunny and 65 out there. 1-1.
Oh, that's
nice
a
pitch.
great off-speed pitch, way out in front, no chance. Now you can do anything as a pitcher. 1-2 count. You get a fastball for a strike, way out in front of a breaking ball.
Falcons would love a quick inning here to get their bats back up.
I like it. I like it. It's a tough pitch to execute, but done well. The inside fastball, it's really easy to leave that over the plate as a lefty with that arm side run, so really effective pitch.
And that one's outside. That is a...
Must have been a foul ball there.
I was going to say you got a tip of it. I thought that was going to be a drop third strike.
I don't know if the batter knew if he got a piece. He looked like he was ready to run. But what you saw there, you see the inside fastball kind of moves the feet a little bit, changes the kind of view of the hitter, and then you go back to that low and outside pitch. It's really hard to adjust when the pitcher moves the ball around the zone like that.
And that one is elevated. Strike 3, swinging.
Yep. Excellent job. That's exactly what you do as a pitcher. You get ahead, you throw a pitch that's your pitch. Maybe it's a ball, maybe it's a strike, but then you go right back at him on the next one. You don't want full counts. You don't want to run your own pitch count up, especially if you want to get deeper into games.
Yeah, great job so far by Caleb Swanger, again, making his first start on the varsity team. Call up from JV this week for this game. That one's inside.
Yeah, and a start like this can build a lot of confidence, going into playing some summer baseball and bringing it back next year.
Yeah, you'd love, especially, we don't have it listed, but I'm assuming Swanger is a sophomore, so you'd love the ability to have kind of a junior that you can lean on next year. Again, you're losing Landon Storms, you're losing Cam Singer. That's your two biggest pitchers. Both of those guys over 30 innings pitched this year for EK, so they're going to need some workhorses next year.
Every pitching staff can use another lefty.
Yeah.
You can never have enough of them.
That one ripped to third base. Drew Burton, great job at the hot corner. Sets throw to first, a little high, but it's going to get him.
Yeah, that
great
was really
defense.
nice staying down on that ball. That ball was ripped. It does slow down a little bit in the grass. You turf field, you better ready for one hop there, but you get that second hop, stays down, composes himself, and rockets it across for the out.
Great job by Drew Burton. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back to Falcon Field.
What's up, Falcon fans? It's your girl, Erica, and if you want to catch all the action from the sports, activities, and events happening at EK, then use the QR code to subscribe to Falcon News Network on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. Your support means so much to us, and we are excited to show you all of the amazing things happening at East Kentwood. Now, let's flip it back to the game.
And back at Falcon Field, and we have a pitching change. So Charlie Jones done after 3 innings. Great job, though. Did not allow a run despite putting a ton of Falcons on base. Ends up stranding 8 runners. Bases loaded first and second. They had a runner on third and first in the previous inning.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm getting flashbacks of the district game that I coached against Union, but it's a eerily similar feeling.
So number 31 now, that is Ryan McGavin in there.
Great job for the Falcons. Getting the pitch count up, though. You always love to get into the bullpen as early as possible. And now you'd hope, with the new look out here, new pitcher, you keep getting runners on base, it's going to be very difficult for multiple pitchers from Union to be able to limit those runs.
Absolutely. It'll be number 2, Grayson Shannon, leading off for the Falcons. Shannon second on the team in at bats. He had a nice base hit earlier in this one.
Leading off the camera, number 2, Grayson Shannon.
Was a leadoff single. He has Bam Nettleman behind him.
Yeah, when you get a pitching change like this, really want to make sure the reliever coming in can actually throw strikes and fill up the zone. We do have the bigger zone today, so you have that in mind, but still like to see one, make sure he's got it. You're going to get a different pitch selection here, so as the leadoff hitter of the new pitcher, it's really important for you to get a good at-bat. You don't want to see one pitch and one out. You want to make sure you work them, let your guys see a couple of pitches.
So we'll see what Shannon does on the first pitch. Swings and laces that one to first base and takes an odd hop.
The English on that. My guy is playing billiards with that first baseman.
that was a real weird hop because the first baseman froze and then reached out with his bare hand to try to snag it.
Yeah, he hit that right off the cap, and the caps have a little indent in them. It can put all sorts of weird side spin. That ball took about a 90-degree turn to the left as soon as it hit the grass. Great rip, though. In the scorebooks, it might as well have been a laser up the middle.
And the bunt to the first base side. Great placement on that one.
I'll tell you what, the Falcons are bunting incredibly today. It would not shock me one bit if we see a bunt with a runner on third base later in this game.
So Bam Nettleman does his job. Sam Hovermail up. He had a sac bunt his previous time up, and he's back to his bat. Did not get the practice weight stuck on it this time. As he looks at the wristband, you were mentioning those earlier.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect too much going on with the runner on second, but definitely want to make the pitcher work a little
First
bit.
pitch swinging, jammed him on the hands. Slow roller to short, fielded. Quick throw is going to pull the runner off, and that ball is going to go against the fence, and that is going to put the Falcons on the board.
And
as Hovermail is going to advance to second.
That's the importance of putting the ball in play on the ground. You never know what's going to happen. The shortstop made a great double play earlier in the game and then gets another shot and airmails one up the line.
And that brings back up the top of the order Cam Singer.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you don't want to leave with one. You've already stranded so many. It's time to put a crooked number up there and really get the confidence behind your pitcher.
So Falcons first pitch swinging every at-bat of the inning so far. And another one, bounced to third, fielded, looks the runner back, throws across, good stretch, dropped. And now the runner from second's going to advance, and it'll be runners on the corners for the Falcons.
And I'll tell you what, you see what that ball did? Took a couple of high hops, and then the last hop stayed really low. The third baseman had to make a stab at it, kind of got off balance, wasn't able to get his feet back under him for a throw across the diamond.
And the Falcons' bats coming alive this inning. We'll see if they can push them across. Quick throw to first. He gets back this time.
Yeah, I don't want to make that mistake again. Got to be aware of what that pitcher's doing as soon as you step off the base.
Left field playing very in. And Singer goes. Pitch drop. Catcher loses it.
Love to see the aggression there. We haven't even seen the catcher throw down to second yet, so love to see it. Now you got two runners in scoring position, no force outs anywhere.
And we'll see if Storms can give a little run support to his pitcher. Swings on that one. That one's hit high, deep into left field. That one's going to get over his head and drop, and that one's going to roll up against the fence. That'll play two, and Storms is going to have himself a stand-up double, 3-0 Falcons.
That's how you punish a left fielder that's playing deep shortstop. In any other day, that would have been a routine fly ball to the left fielder, but he was about 2 steps into the grass, and it's able to get over his head.
And the top of the order, I ask you, do you want your big bat stacked like that? And you wanted to get him as many at bats, and that proves it right there.
They showed me. They showed me up. I said I'd love to see him work a little bit. They're like, why wait? We can just get the hits right away.
So runner on second, one away. as that one's inside to Drew
Seeing a
Burton.
little confidence turning on the baseball, too, that we didn't see. There was some tentative swings earlier with Jones. He was mixing it up early and often. First pitch of the game was a breaking ball. Seeing the guys get on this early fastball now, though.
That one's inside. That one's going to bounce away. Runner's going to advance to third. And kind of the opposite happening for Union.
Yeah, we see a kind of a different breaking ball coming out of McGavin here. It's a little sharper, but it's also a little wilder. It's making it really difficult for the catcher to keep it in front like he was with Jones.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. As that one's ripped into right field, right fielder loses it. It's going to get past him. That's going to plate one, and Burton's wheels are on, and he's going to have a stand-up double as that ball holds up good in the thick outfield grass. Union's going to catch a little bit of break that Burton's not standing on third, but the runs continuing to pour in.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe the sun came into play a little bit there. The right fielder took a extra second to really adjust to where that ball was and was able to get by. Great base running out of the Falcons, getting every bag they can out of these.
So runner on second now as he takes that one, Jacoby Chapek. But as I was mentioning before, another RBI double there. The catcher, we'd praised him so much for Union the first 3 innings, really keeping that ball in front of him coming out of Jones's hands. And then you pointed out, too, different pitcher now with McGavin, kind of different release angle, different, spot that those pitches are coming in. And we've seen 3 or 4 now bounce away from him this inning.
Yeah, and he was getting away with kind of stabbing at the ball a little bit with his glove, and he's not anymore.
And that one's behind him, and that'll advance the runner.
Yeah, this is what you like to see. You be patient. If the pitcher is going to give you free bases, let him, and now it'll put you in a great spot for an RBI. Love hitting with a guy on third, less than 2 outs.
And this has got to be too, you kind of see McGavin struggling for Union a little bit. If you're the Falcons, you're anxious. You're like, all right, am I in the on-deck circle yet? Am I in the hole yet? Everybody wants an at-bat opportunity here.
Definitely.
Swung on, flipped into right center field over the head of second base, and an RBI. Right fielder falls down. He's going to get it in, though. And an RBI single, 5-0 Falcons.
Yeah, hitting's contagious. One guy gets it going, and it just spreads through the whole team. Love to see the momentum. Love to see it laying on it. 5 is not enough. Why not 10?
Colin Cole up to bat now for EK. 10 runs after 5, I believe, is the mercy rule in
I believe it
baseball. That's that first pitch go low, ball 1.
Beautiful day like this, though. I hate to go home early.
Yeah. Heard Stonewater's got some tee times open.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's another cool thing that's happening if you're watching the live stream. The movie night at Falcon Stadium tonight. That'll be a ton of fun, hosted by Student Council. I know a lot of the baseball guys are excited about that. There's a middle school track meet happening there now. It's that time of year where there's always something here at EK. That one's in there for a strike.
Yep, good job being patient there. You don't want to be too aggressive when balls are going all over the yard, but now you really want to get your pitch.
2-1 outside. That one's going to bounce up the first baseline. Catcher loses it. Runner's going to hold.
Right there, you kind of see the catcher stabbing at it again. Not really committing to getting outside and blocking that ball like he was a little bit earlier, and that's why you're seeing some of these get away. You really want to see the catcher constantly working, sliding, getting his chest out there in front of it. It's a thankless job sometimes as a catcher, but it's one of the most important positions on the field.
And 3-1 pitch inside is going to walk him. So 2 on, 1 out now for number 16, Nash Ottaway.
Yeah, Falcons looking to bat around in the order this inning.
Yeah, Grayson Shannon led this one off, if I'm not mistaken. Kobe Price now to run at first. Ooh, that one's in there for a ball. Almost got him.
Hey, you got that evil shield on your elbow.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. You got the Kevlar armor there.
And that one's high. Catcher thought about the snap throw, but he's going to hold it 2-0.
Yeah, great place to swing here. You know what you're going to get. Got to be a fastball. Ball has been elevated the entire inning. No reason not to shoot one to the outfield.
2-0 breaking balls in there.
Yeah, there's the return of the low, low outside pitch for the called strike. Swanger's got to be sitting over there smiling, knowing how many he's got, though. He's like, don't take it away from me, Blue.
And calls that one a strike, too.
Yeah, as a pitcher myself, I'd always have to tell my hitters to get over it because I want the big zone when I'm out there, so don't complain too much.
So from 2-0 to 2-2 now. And he steps off.
Yeah, tough at bat when you get two pitches you don't necessarily think are strikes, but got to battle in this spot.
And the 2-2 swung on, fouled away.
Yeah, that's a great job fighting off that low inside fastball. That is just a tough pitch to hit for righties. Unfortunately, righties just don't get that luxury of dropping the bat on that low inside one like the lefties seem to be able to do.
Really feel a breeze coming in through the press box now.
Yeah, we definitely got a little wind blowing out to right now.
That one swung on, hit high into center field. Wind's going to track it back a little bit to the right. Caught, and the runner will hold at second. Great contact, though.
Yeah, 2 outs. No reason to stop the party yet.
As the Falcons have batted around. Shannon led off with that kind of slicer, if you would, to first base. Took a little 90-degree turn. First baseman couldn't get a hand on it. And
this is a position where pitcher's kind of in a rhythm. If they're, one look into second base, it's a great opportunity to get a steal in right there. One look, instant away, leg lifts. If you get another one look leg lift here, you'd love to see an aggressive lead and potentially a steal to advance these runners.
So he backs Shannon up with that one. One look. And calls that one a strike. Shannon backed away pretty early on that one. So you know there's some good break out of the hand of McGavin.
Yeah, McGavin's got a sharp breaking ball. He was struggling locating it earlier, but kind of finding it in the strike zone. When you can get that pitch over for a strike, it's just a nice luxury to have.
The 1-1. That one
That's
laced
down.
into left center field. Base hit.
Gotta go.
And a runner is going.
Yep.
The throw is going to be to the cutoff man, and they're not going to do it. 6-0 RBI single, Grayson Shannon.
Excellent inning for Shannon. 2 hits, an RBI, a steal. Does it all.
Tremendous job there. Again, the sophomore shortstop came in with a batting average that doesn't necessarily reflect the effort that he's put in all year, and he's doing a great job bringing that one up. Bam Nettleman had the sack bunt his first at-bat this inning. Definitely going to be swinging it this time, though. First pitch swinging by Nettleman into left field. Is it going to get down? And it will. Between everybody. Takes a weird hop. That's going to plate another one. Runners are going to hold at first and second. As Shannon kind of made the catcher think about it.
Yep, nice.
7-0 Falcons.
Love to see that aggressive base running. Every time you can force somebody to throw the ball across the diamond, that's a chance that, you create an unforced error. So excellent job out of the kind of bottom of the order.
Absolutely.
Started the rally, and they are continuing it.
Grayson Shannon, Bam Nettleman got this one going, and EK is one more at-bat away from turning it over to their big 1-2-3.
Yeah, we're still seeing that one look, but that's if you can move these runners. I mean, all these little hits could go from 1 run to 2. So love the aggression out there. Never ease off the gas when you have a team on the ropes.
Check swing, snap throw to first is going to be caught, but the runner advances to third.
Excellent base running. No hesitation. As soon as the catcher popped his feet, he has taken third base. Easy standing up. Excellent base running.
Runners on the corners, 0-1 count.
Yeah, I'd expect aggressive base running here on first now.
High strike call, 0-2. So hole on the right side of the infield as first base is covering. Third base is back, middle infield's back. Left field's back as well. Runner goes now, and that one's going to be strike 3 looking.
Tough pitch there, low and away. But excellent inning for the Falcons. Put a huge number on the board. Touchdown, 7 runs.
Yeah, they will take that all day, every day. And again, it was the bottom of the order that got that going. Grayson Shannon went 2 for 2 in that inning. Bam Nettleman had a sack bunt his first time up that moved Shannon over, and then laced a hard single to left. Sam Hovermail had it. Cam Singer. I mean,
Yeah, you didn't
you
get a
name
hit
it.
that inning. It's 10 push-ups in the dugout.
Great showing there by Coach Jackson and the Falcons.
This will be the first time we've seen Swanger on a long rest, though, so we'll see how he comes back. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky coming off of a long layoff. I mean, it might have been 25, 30 minutes almost since the last time he threw the ball, so it'll be important to get out there and throw a strike. The most important thing a pitcher can do is put a 0 up after their team scores runs. You never want to give them back. It is deflating to be on the other end of that, and that's what Swanger will aim to do here.
Yeah, especially you got some run support there. You know what part of the plate you want to work. He wants to stay away from those batters. He wants to work that outside part of the plate. He's had some great success there.
The catcher got a little crossed up there on the warm-up pitch. Hope he's all right.
And then the Falcons will return in the bottom of the 5th. If Swanger does his job, which I'm assuming that he is absolutely going to do, they'll have a chance to put 3 more runs up, and that would be a ball game to get out early. No doubleheader today, just the single here on a Friday afternoon at Falcon Field.
Yeah, pitch count's really manageable still. Swanger's been throwing a lot of strikes. Couple of quick innings that started off, very few base runners, so looking to go for this complete game today if you can.
Yeah, and what a debut that would be. Again, moved up from JV with just 4 innings pitched, had 7 walks, 3 Ks, and ERA of 3.5, and what a first career start for Caleb Swanger at the varsity level. First pitch swung on, looped to second. Singer's going to make the call. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Excellent job there. Just continues to pick up right where he left off. Another nice low and away fastball. 0 chance of that getting driven anywhere.
And man, if you're Coach Jackson, if you're Grayson Shannon, if you're a young guy in the Falcon team and you're seeing what Caleb Swanger's doing today, that's just got to get you itching already, thinking about next year as well. That one's fouled back.
Oh, yeah. A good pitcher can give any offense, struggling or not, a lot of confidence because you always have a chance to win.
And you mentioned it too. It's not even, I shouldn't even say thinking about next year, thinking about districts. Every team makes it, like you said.
Absolutely. A strong pitching performance, anybody can win. Baseball's very unique that way. You'll see it happen in every level. You'll watch the College World Series regionals start up, and you'll watch these 4 seeds, taking on an SEC powerhouse and get a win, and it can happen any day in baseball.
1-1 from Swanger, down and in.
Yeah, what you're really seeing today out of Swanger is just a ton of strikes. The defense is supporting him, a lot of good plays out there. What we see on the stat sheet for the Falcons this year is just a lot of walks, which just leads to free bases and a lot of free runs. So this is exactly what you want out of any pitcher, especially a young one.
Swung on to dead center, and Landon Storms will make the catch. That's always a tough one as a center fielder when it's hit right at you.
Yeah, you got a high sky today, no clouds up there, so don't really have a lot of point of reference. Sun's probably a little out of his sight, though, which makes it a little easier. You don't want that ball in right field right now. You're going to have a heck of a time locating that one.
Yeah, Bam Nettleman in right, Landon Storms in center.
Especially with the wind kind of blowing across, might be a tricky play.
First pitch swung on again to Storms.
Look, and he's testing me next pitch, no problem.
Got him. I thought that one was going to, again, just straight away center, but that one, the wind really took that one over to Bam Nettleman, who made a great catch. And
I mean, what an inning out of Swanger. What is that, 5 pitches?
Yeah, that was 5 pitches.
Just absolutely dealing. That is a backbreaker for Union right there. 7 runs, and you just get put back out on the field about 30 seconds later after a 5-pitch inning.
Yeah,
excellent.
And that goes right back to the top of the order. It's going to be Cam Singer, it's going to be Landon Storms, and it's going to be Drew Burton leading off for the Falcons. And again, 10's the magic number. They get a 10-0 lead in this inning. That is the ball game. So you could potentially see a walk-off of sorts.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody would like that here. Get a nice win going into the weekend on a beautiful Friday and sets up for a chance to get the first conference win next Tuesday.
Absolutely. A little bit more Falcon baseball this year. This is our last baseball stream, though. Next Friday, softball senior night and baseball senior night next Friday. Lindsey Kimbrough, Tony Kimbrough will be back on the call for that one. Seniors' last day of school next Friday, too, so they get to go home early and, unlike a lot of their friends, come right back a few hours later.
Yeah, that's always a unique
Yeah.
experience in high school. You're getting ready for the playoff game, and you don't have any school. All you
Yeah.
got to do,
Yep.
you're a big leaguer for a couple of weeks. Get to
to-
show up to the field
Yep.
and just play ball.
That is the life. So McGavin back out there for Union. And like we said, it'll be Cam Singer, Landon Storms, Drew Burton, 1, 2, 3 for the big three seniors.
Number 1, Cam Singer.
Singer working himself a perfect game at the plate in this one.
Is that an announcer jinx I just heard? coming out of
Yeah.
there?
I was kind of looking too to see if high school was jumping on the torpedo bat trend.
I don't know if there would be a metal bat built in the torpedo style.
That's true. That is true. That's a good
I'm
point.
sure if Major League Baseball makes a ruling that it's okay, you will see something
Yeah.
like that, especially in college baseball. Everybody likes home runs.
Yeah.
Anything that can help.
Absolutely. Are you
I-
a fan of the metal or the wood? If you had a choice.
Well, considering I always was a horrible pitcher, stick with the leather in my hand of the baseball. But pitching wise, a lot of the collegiate summer leagues are wood bat leagues, and I'll tell you what, you got to be a strong hitter to make a wood bat look like a metal bat. It's just so much faster swinging a metal bat. They're
Mhm.
light.
Yeah.
They got a little flex in there. It's a lot more forgiving. The sweet spot's probably
Right,
twice
right.
as big on that barrel. I mean, you can see this Marucci here. If you hit it anywhere on those letters about a foot long, you're going to be able to get a good piece. Where wood bat, you're really locked into the sweet spot.
As Singer beat out the infield single to keep his perfect game at the plate going. Landon Storms up now.
I thought I saw this. We played a Unity Christian, a wood bat tournament? Got a W over a top 15 team from Division 2. So Falcons are probably playing their best baseball of the season at the right time.
As that pass ball is going to advance the runner. Yeah, big win, 14-3 over Hudsonville. Cam Singer had a complete game in that one. 4 hit, 1 earned, 7 Ks. Nash Ottaway went 2 for 3. Storms went 1 for 3, a pair of RBIs. Drew Burton had an RBI in that one.
I'll tell you what, as a pitcher facing wood bats for the first time, the inside pitch is your best friend.
As that one's going to bounce away, and that one's going to advance Singer to third.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. That is an instant dirt ball read. He didn't wait to see it get by. He knew the ball was in the dirt, and he's going to take his chances that the catcher doesn't pick it clean. That's absolutely what happened.
So 2-0 count, no out, runner on third now for the Falcons. We'll see how aggressive Storms is on 2-0. Big swing, laced down the third baseline, foul.
Yeah, interesting that Union's playing the entire infield back. Corners are playing even, but not even really in. So, I mean, anything but a hard hit ball to the corners is probably going to score a run.
That one's hit high in the air to center field. Center field loses it for a second, tracking it, and he'll make the catch. Singer will tag up, and he will waltz home for a Landon Storms sac fly.
Nice piece of hit in there, just not selfish, putting it up in the air, getting it far enough out there. You know that you don't have a lot of particularly strong arms in the outfield, so most balls to the outfield are going to get that run in, and that's exactly what we saw.
Drew Burton up to bat now for East Kentwood. Behind him, Noah Murray, number 7.
Yeah, you end up with bases empty after that as the rally starter again. So really important at bat here to get the ball rolling for the boys.
First pitch down and away, ball 1.
Not relevant to baseball, but I see a golden retriever out there behind the right field fence. Great dogs. Have one myself.
That's great. I mean, it is really like a lot of dogs. It's just really active. Like out around here, you see JV warming up to the left of us. A lot of times we'll have the rugby team out there. I mean, it is just
Yeah, it is a beautiful day out here for some
absolutely
sports.
2-0 swinger, and that
Yeah,
was
that
going to
is
bounce past
in.
third base, down the third base line, and that'll be a single for Drew Burton.
Yeah, hard hit ground ball down the third baseline. Third baseman playing pretty far off the line and just no chance at that one.
So number 7, Noah Murray up to bat now for EK. I believe his first at bat of the game. He must have just swapped in as Coach Jackson comes out now to let the umpire know.
Yeah, going to get to see some more guys get some at bats, get some
Mhm.
playing time here towards the end of the season. You never know who you're going to call on in a postseason game, so it's nice to see some guys getting some chances out there, especially on a day where we're scoring some runs, maybe kind of wear off on the rest of the team.
So we'll see what Murray can do in his first at bat. First pitch swinging, laces that one
Smokes
hard
it
to
into the
left
gap.
field. And a good play there out and left. But
Yeah,
man,
it's
that was some
tough
good
day to get a
contact.
ball out to left field with that crosswind kind of cutting in there, but nice aggressive swing coming off the bench. Never mad seeing something like that.
Yeah, especially, I mean, on a day where there's not that much of a breeze, I think that's in the gap. I thought it was in the gap off the bat, too, but great contact by Noah Murray, and that brings up that Colin Cole. It is strike one. Drew Burton does have a stolen base on the year. We'll see if EK does send him at all. Not going there. Good breaking pitch into there for a strike.
Yeah, probably won't see too much aggression on the bases. You'll definitely see those taking extra bases on hits, but with a big lead, usually see a little sportsmanship with steals.
Swung on a miss. Strike 3. So 8-0 at the end of 5 as we'll switch over to the top of the 6th. And we'll see if it's Caleb Swanger back out for.
Gotta think after the 5-pitch inning, why not?
I did see somebody in the bullpen. It looks like they might be marching him in now.
Yep, Coach Jackson talking to the umpire. Looks like we do have a change going on. If that is the end of the day for Swanger, one heck of a start and in line for the win.
Yeah, 5 complete innings, no runs scored, couple strikeouts in there for him. Just an absolutely fabulous debut. As we see Gabe Wolf jogging across, and it is going to be Gabe Wolf picking it up. And this is going to be Gabe Wolf's pitching debut on the season as well for the Falcons.
Have to check with the scorebook. Did Swanger even give up a hit?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think there was a one or two
He was
in
dealing
early,
out there
but
for most of it.
yeah, great job. So Gabe Wolf hurt his knee earlier in the year, making his pitching debut on the season for the Falcons. And again, just another weapon, getting healthy at the right time, getting hot at the right time. And with an 8-run cushion.
Yep, just looking for a bunch of strikes. Anytime you get a bullpen pitcher in, that's objective number 1. Start filling up the strike zone with the lead. Baseball is a funny game where an 8-run lead can start getting a lot smaller really quick if you start giving up free bases. So paramount to continue the Caleb Swanger show here, just pump that strike zone.
So it'll be Wolf out there. Noah Murray's going to take over at third. I believe those are the 2 substitutions. Landon Storm still in center. Bam Nelman in right. I believe that's Hovermail in left. Grayson Shannon at short. Singer at first, and Singer at second, Drew Burton at first, and Colin Cole behind the plate. So Union steps up to bat. That is Vesey. as EK looks to get out of here with a win, as Gabe's first pitch is outside for a ball. 3-game series next week for EK against Grand Haven, the final 3-game conference series of the season. The 1-0 also down and away. Little short hopper.
Yeah, it looks like it just got a little nerves coming out of Wolf right now because in warm-ups was looking very comfortable. Your first time on the mound with an actual batter standing there, though, it could take a couple of pitches to get warmed up.
That one's in there. That one's flipped to right field down the line. Nettleman chasing. Nettleman speeding, but that one's going to fall foul.
Yeah, good effort pursuing that ball without that kind of wind pushing it off. Might have had a chance down the line, but always love to see your outfielders trying to make a play. Outfield is a massive, massive space, and you do a lot of running out
You
there
are on
for
an
nothing.
island.
So it is so difficult to keep that effort up. Love to see it.
2-1 outside. One of the things I noticed about Grand Rapids Union's center fielder, every ball hit to him, his first move is to tip the hat off. Like the hat came off. Every time there's a ball hit to him in center, he swipes the hat off and then looks for it. As that's ball 4.
Yeah, that must be a personal preference thing. 'Cause typically on a sunny day, you're going to use any tool you got to keep it out of your head. But, some guys just can't keep it on. You see Bryce Harper running around the bases, knocking his helmet off. I think he's just doing that to show the flow off, maybe.
So Gabe Wolf walks his first batter, and he gets ready to go out of the stretch. His pitcher will come out, or his catcher will come out for a quick chat.
Yeah, it's very important for the defense here to be on their toes. You never know what's going to happen. Highly unlikely there's going to be any steals or bunts, but you got to help your pitcher out. First time out in the season, walks opening batter, so you got to help him out any way you can.
First pitch inside. So Wolf still looking to settle into the strike zone here. If you're Union, I assume you're just laying off until he shows he can put one over the plate.
Yeah, definitely want to be patient, but you get a pitch and you're aggressive, and this is how rallies start. It's going to be on Wolf now to get ahead. You got to get that first pitch strike over. When you got a team down, the only thing that's going to give them confidence is a hitter's count. So we'll see what Wolf's made of here if he can dig deep and kind of lock it in.
So a walk to begin the inning, followed by a hard single through the left side of the infield, puts runners on first and second for Union. We'll see if Wolf can get the first pitch strike here. Union showing bunt, beautiful bunt down the third base line, and he is not going to have a play. He's going to eat it, bases loaded.
Yeah, that's one of those sack bunts for a hit kind of deal. I mean, perfect placement down the line, and now he got bases loaded, no outs. Let's see if Wolf can do what we saw out of Union in the first 2 innings and strand 3.
So Grand Rapids Union's bench getting louder now. They're feeling a little bit of confidence. Swung on and missed.
Yep, that's a well-placed pitch. Nice high and inside fastball. Really nothing the hitter can do with it. And get yourself ahead, just what you're looking for. Now you got a lot to work with.
0-1 foul tip into the catcher's glove. Strike 2.
Excellent job. And now it's where you rely on your catcher. 0-2. Nice little breaking ball there. Love to see him go low and trust the catcher to keep it in front.
Strikeout and double play would be the preferred way to wrap up the inning. And strike 3.
That is right on the black. Strike 3. I'll tell you what, when you are a struggling pitcher, that is a gift that you will take 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that was strike 3. There's Gabe Wolf got that one.
Yeah,
that's a strike.
You don't I don't even necessarily think the ball was that far outside, but when the catcher really
Lunges
takes
like
their
that,
glove
yeah.
with it, you hardly ever
I
get
think
it
he's
without a
I
stick.
think you're right. I think he slung it across the zone. Puts that one just inside.
Infield in at first base, so it looks like they'll be coming 4 on a ball to first. Everyone else will be turning 2 at second.
That one's down and away. Nice easy
In a-
ground ball up the middle would be
Yeah, and you'd
greatly
love to get
appreciated.
2, but any out here is going to work with an 8-run lead. You don't have to be greedy. Make sure you get 1 before you go for 2.
That one rolled to third, fielded, and he's gonna hesitated.
Ooh.
He's gonna go to second.
Pretty fortunate. The runner going to second base was sleepwalking out there. Hard run and slide into second. He's safe for sure. Really fortunate to get that out, but exactly what you were saying, a little indecision there.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure where he wanted to go with it, but great job just getting that out. Now you only have a runner on first base. Oh no, pinch runner coming into third. Tricked me. First and third, 2 outs though.
Yeah, Noah Murray initially looked right to first base, and I think his teammates kind of called out 2-2-2 and that late throw to second, but would have been really difficult, like you said, real hard there to get 2.
Definitely.
So 8-1 now. That one in the
Yeah, that's a nice pitch. You
inside
see
part.
him finally kind of getting to that comfort zone, just getting that nice little breaking ball over, nice little tight on the inside part of the plate.
The 0-1 from Wolf. In there, strike 2.
Yeah, it's he's feeling it
He's
now.
getting it back now. Yep.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all if he just triples it up and gets the strikeout here. Might see the high fastball. Would be a nice pitch to change the eye level, change the speed up, but he can do anything in this situation.
0-2 runner goes, pitch outside, he's going to roll away from the catcher. Runner hesitates at third and scampers back.
I mean, I'll tell you what, that's an incredible block by the catcher. I know the runner advances to second, but he keeps the run from scoring on a ball that hopped up almost over his shoulder. Kind of almost had to lunge up out of his stance to just get a piece of it and keep that runner on third. That's how shutouts are preserved this long, and that's how you keep your pitchers in it when they want to make an aggressive pitch with 2 strikes.
Catcher elevates here. He goes up with it, got him, swinging, strike 3.
Yeah, great job changing the eye level. 3 low breaking balls. You gotta assume, okay, man, maybe he's gonna bring me another, and then boom, high fastball, eye level change, speeds you up, and you got no chance.
Great job there by Gabe Wolf. Just a little bit of those, nerves. First time out after you got, he really hurt his knee early on in the year. So first at batter, you kind of saw kind of a little bit all over, walked him, base hit, but kind of settled down there towards the end. So it'll be 8-1 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Is there a mercy rule after 6?
Yep, same thing goes.
Same
I believe
thing,
it's
still
just
10?
a 10 runs. Continues on. But I know the Falcons would love to get a couple of runs across here and win this one on offense.
Yeah, great day for the Bats. Great job defensively too by EK. I mean, no real blunders. Certainly no errors in this one. They played really well behind their pitchers. Again, Caleb Swanger, by far and away, I think the player of the game, making his debut. The fact they get Gabe Wolf up and loose for districts, and they of course have that series against Grand Haven next week too. So EK may be finding their strides right at the most appropriate time.
Absolutely. Like we said, I mean, high school baseball, you might look at East Kentwood's record on the stat sheet and, not show up ready to play. But when a team is hot, they are dangerous. And that's what East Kentwood looks like right now.
And even last week, too, against Rockford, Rockford, sitting at 8-4 in the OK Red, Hudsonville 11-1, Granville 10-2, and then Rockford, West Ottawa, Grand Haven, EK. But, Rockford, a team that has really put together some performances this year, and those were, a pair of 3-0 losses by EK, but the fact that Coach Jackson was saying they were in it the entire time and just a few breaks here and there and would have gone the Falcons' way. So Kobe Price up to bat for EK. He's going to look for his first hit of the season.
Yeah, and we'll see if the Falcons can keep that rally energy from the 5th inning going here in the bottom of the 6th.
as EK making a couple substitutions here. So it'll be Kobe Price up to bat now, and then in the hole, number 27, Eric Smith. Perhaps a couple of JV call-ups. That one inside, 2-0.
Yeah, the inside corner today is tough for a pitcher. You want to be able to abuse the inside pitch, and when you can, it can be tough.
2-0, swung on by Price, laced
That's a
down
fair
the third
ball.
baseline, fair
Yep.
ball.
Doesn't have to land in fair territory. It only has to go over the top of the bag, and that's exactly what we saw right there. Excellent job turning on the 2-0 fastball after seeing two inside fastballs.
Absolutely great job. Congrats, Kobe Price, his first hit of the season.
And that's the importance of changing speed, changing eye levels, even in a 2-0 count. You can't be afraid to throw a breaking ball because hitters can zero in on that very quickly. You see two balls into that slot and then a third one, and you are ready for it. Even if it was a ball, you can still extend out of the zone. So great piece of hitting.
Eric Smith, big cut on and miss. Smith just 0 for 3 on the year. Just a couple appearances for him so far. Big player in the JV is this time of year. You see a lot of players up and down and outside.
Yep, great exposure. Getting some varsity at bats on a Friday.
Maybe number 11, Julian Gibson in the hole as well. So EK rolling through their bench. That one's low, ball 2. And great job, too, by Coach Jackson kind of managing this. And you see all the EK guys, the varsity players, up standing, watching these at-bats for some of their younger teammates.
Yeah, it can be hard to keep the energy up when it's not going the way you want, showing up to practice every day. So it's great to see the effort we're out there. Everybody's locked in here. Great to see.
The 3-1 to Smith. Swung on, flipped up, pop up to third, caught. Quick throw back to first. Needs the tag, though.
That was a little risky over there. Base running on a ball in the air in the infield, but he gets back in. We've already seen the umpire in the field make a couple of emphatic out calls, so that was
and
a close one.
We see the first base coach too, just kind of tell him, hey, slide with your hand first next time.
Yeah.
But he gets back 1 out. Julian Gibson up. Cut on a miss. Didn't look like he wanted to commit to that swing.
Yeah, I got fooled a little bit. Kind of a backup breaking ball. Those will get you every once in a while.
Gibson 1 for 7 on the year with an RBI and a run scored. That one's inside.
Yeah, I will say the Falcons have done an excellent job adjusting to the strike zone. That is just part of baseball. Every umpire has their zone. We know everyone is unique. So when the inside corner is off limits and the outside corner is free, the pitchers need to take advantage and the hitters need to adjust. And that's what we've seen.
He sneaks that breaking pitch inside for strike 2, 1-2 now to Julian Gibson. Low ball 2. Kobe Price has a stolen base on the season. Probably not going to see him run. You mentioned that earlier, sportsmanship, things like that. He got plenty, but does have speed out there if one gets into the outfield. Just like that one. Scooped in, bloop single.
Yeah, that's a tricky read for the runner at first base. You don't know if it's going to get caught. You don't know if it's down. If you go halfway, you're probably too far. Yep. So good job getting into there, saving the hit. As a hitter, you never want that to turn into a fielder's choice in the outfield.
So congrats, Julian Gibson, his second hit on the year. That brings back up Sam Hovermail before it'll turn back over to Cam Singer. Again, 3 runs wins it for East Kentwood. Maybe a walk-off home run.
Oh, that'd be something, wouldn't it? I don't see any on the stat sheet here.
Yeah, no, I don't believe so. What a time for the first. But again, that right field is a short porch, 305, but that fence really elevates towards that right corner.
No one said you have to hit it over the fence to get a home run, baby. We could put one down in that gap and run for days.
1-1 count for Hovermail. That one's low. Good job of the catcher blocking that.
Yep, good job being patient. Don't need to help the pitcher out at all. You know he's going to have to bring you one, and been hitting the fastballs left over the plate really well the last 2 innings.
So the 2-1 for Hovermail. Breaking pitch slats in there for strike 2.
That's a good piece of pitching right there. Got the 2-1. You got an even count, but you're kind of falling behind. Don't be afraid to go back to the breaking ball. Trust yourself that you can throw it for a strike, and you get an easy strike that's taken, and get yourself a 2-2 count.
That was swung on a miss, strike 3. So it'll be 2 out, 2 on for Cam Singer. 3 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, trying to keep it going. Love to stay perfect.
Singer leads the team in hits, leads the teams in runs scored. That's going to be a pass ball, and both runners will advance.
2 RBIs ready to go.
Do you walk the bases loaded now for a force anywhere, or do you just keep going after Singer?
Yes, I think you do need to walk a 3 for 3 leadoff hitter that has the best average on the team. That is the prime target for an intentional walk, but doesn't look like they're going to do it, so got to love that as the hitter.
Ooh, that one's going to back
Yep.
Singer up.
Good job of holding off on that.
Real tricky. You mentioned that earlier in the broadcast too, and the pitch was above the head of a batter. That's one that can sneak and tap the bat too.
Mm-hmm.
2-0. Singer swings on that one, lifts it high behind second. Right fielder coming in will make the catch, and that'll do it. So the Falcons won't be able to walk it off, but they will be able to wrap it up here in the top of the 7th. We'll see if Gabe Wolf comes back out. I assume he is, and he makes the walkout to attempt to wrap up the Falcon win. Win would move EK to 5-17 on the year. Still looking for their first win in the OK Red, but they have that 3-game series with Grand Haven next week. Grand Haven 2-10 in the OK Red. East Kentwood 0-12. But
yeah, you'd love to see a little momentum rolling into the playoffs. Get a nice conference win, especially on Senior Day. It's just a great day to get a win. The weather next week looks beautiful,
Yeah.
so it is going to be a great time to come see a baseball game.
Yeah, we're gonna have a couple games in the couple days in the 90s next week. I know Monday's pushing 90. It is going to be warm.
Yep, it is. It's heating up, and you know what? As a baseball player and a baseball fan, can't complain. I'll take 90 over 40 any day.
Yeah, almost 90 on Monday. Thursday is supposed to hit 90. Friday though back down to 80, so it won't be too bad of a scorcher for
Get the boys a little
Yeah.
tropical baseball game here next week.
So weather looks great. The field will look great. Great job by the East Kentwood grounds crew. They're out here every single day trying to take care of the field, and it's tricky. You know, the Michigan winter, all that rain we got the week before
It
last too.
takes so long for the clay in the infield to dry up after that permafrost all melts. I mean, it just holds so much moisture. You're playing on a sofa cushion for your first month. It's just so tough playing baseball in the north. But field's been great position or great state today. Haven't really seen many bad hops or anything like that. So that's what you love to see.
You're mentioning basically part of the field constructed by you, right?
I worked many a year on those mounds. I am one heck of a mound maker.
Grayson Shannon tries to make the throw, not going to be in time though. So a leadoff single for Union.
Yeah, not hardly hit at all, just a perfect place, and that's baseball for you. You can hit a ball 200 miles an hour right at somebody and get an out. You can dink one into the 6th hole and walk safely to first.
Wolf's pitch down and away for the ball.
Yeah, as a pitcher in this situation, you don't even need your first baseman to really hold the runner on. Probably just practicing the situation moving forward, but really it's just all about the batter.
Swung on, tapped up the third baseline foul. Runner went, so he'll take the long walk back. There is a pitcher up in the Falcons bullpen, so I don't know if Gabe Wolf maybe is on a pitch count perhaps, or
Could be. If it's a first outing out, you're probably not going to see more than 30 pitches, I would say. So that might be what we're looking at. Just a strict pitch count to get him, get his feet wet, but you don't want to overwork an arm that hasn't been thrown yet because you can get sore very quickly before you get back into that midseason form. So I'm sure they'll be careful coming back from an injury. Not to say that, it's going to affect the arm, but it's just getting that endurance up.
So pass ball advances the runner 2-1, runner on second. That one's in there, strike 2.
Yeah, that is that nice, silky smooth breaking ball. Union hasn't had an answer for it, and that is just a pitcher's best friend, an off-speed pitch you can get over for a strike.
We'll see if he goes back to it on the 2-2. And he does. Tapped on the ground to short.
Tough
Runner's going
play.
to advance, and he is going to hold.
Yeah, ball like that, shortstop never has a chance. You got to have a rangy third baseman to be able to cut that one off. So that's just nothing you can do. Welcome to baseball. 2 ground balls, 2 infield hits. What are you going to do as a pitcher? Shake it off,
Yeah, 2 perfectly placed. So runners on the corners, no outs.
I know we talked about turf earlier. That's a ball that a shortstop can make a play on turf. Get there about a second faster.
As EK is going to come out to
I don't think we're going to
Wolf.
have a pitcher change with the pitcher coach coming out here. Usually Coach Jackson would be the one to make the change, I would assume. So just calming him down, getting a defensive positioning in here, putting a little confidence back in your guy, and then let him go out there and finish the game.
Yeah, the pitcher in the bullpen for EK just now stepping onto the mound. He's kind of short throwing it, getting warmed up for a little bit. So gives him a little time to toss a couple from off the mound. But yeah, no pitching change here. They're going to let Gabe Wolf get through it. And again, with a 7-run cushion, you can afford to let him stay out there and work through it.
Yep, and even more important for the defense to be locked in here. You can get into these lulls in a baseball game sometimes. Always got to be ready to help the pitcher out.
Pitch runner goes long. Bunt attempt is going to be there. Wolf's going to field it.
Great
And he's not going to
fake.
throw. Great fake, and got him. What a play, Gabe Wolf.
That was money. You saw the runner from third base almost halfway home. I thought he might just turn to him right away. Gives him an expert pump fake. Never going to throw that ball to first. Turns around and gets the easy out at home. Questionable decision out of Union, though. Down 7 runs. With
Trying to
what
send
looked
him.
looks like a safety squeeze potentially there. It wasn't a suicide squeeze where you're sending the runner home no matter what, but just a strange call. Excellent execution out of the Falcon defense.
Yeah, Drew Burton immediately after that out ran up to Gabe Wolf. Big high five there. That one's inside.
There's rarely a thing that feels better as a pitcher than 2 hits that you think, were undeserved, and then you go make a play yourself to help yourself out of the jam.
Great job there. So 1 out now, ground ball. Hit hard enough, that one's going to bounce away.
That's the first one that's been able to get by today. It's been a tough day behind the plate. Can't really complain when you're about 18 for 19 keeping them in front. So really the runners are still inconsequential. It's all about the guys at the plate. It's going to take a ton of hits, a ton of base runners to get 7 across. So if you're Wolf here, just pitch your game. Get your guys at home. Infield back all around. Wouldn't expect any even a look to home. Just going to get an out.
That one tapper to short. We'll see if Shannon can make the play here. Fields it, throws. Got him. Great
Nice
stretch
hit
by Drew Burton.
Yeah, excellent out of Burton to go get it. Really important for your first baseman to not stretch too early. You keep both your heels on the bag. When the ball's in the air is when you make your stretch, so you can make an adjustment on a ball that might be up the line or to your backhand. Great job helping the pitcher out there. 2 outs, 1 to go.
Couple good defensive plays there. And again, Grayson Shannon's got Real busy inning for the sophomores. That one's over the head for a ball. One 0 in there for a strike.
Yeah, good mix coming out of Wolf now that he's settled down. You always like to have someone you can bring in out of the bullpen that's ready to throw a first pitch breaking ball because it's so common to see that first pitch fastball. Oh,
As
unforced
that one
error.
gets by him, and that's going to be an unearned run.
Yeah, that'll be a passed ball. That was right on the black. It's been called a strike for most of the day. So tough break for Wolf. If he gets out of it, unearned run doesn't go on the stat sheet.
So they did call it a strike. So that was a strike. 1-2 count. We'll see if Wolf can put him away here. Swung on a miss, and he got him.
Excellent job finishing it out, and a great day for the Falcons on the mound and at the plate. 8-3 win on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Couldn't ask for anything more.
As the Falcons improve to 5-17, the Redhawks to 4-17. Big win for EK here at Falcon Field to send the seniors off the last time they'll play here. Their senior night's going to be next Friday during the softball game. Kyle, thanks so much for stopping by. This is great.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Couldn't have asked for a better day to call some baseball.
Thank you so much. We will be back next Friday. Softball senior night, baseball senior night. Tony Kimbrough, Lindsey Kimbrough on the call. Thank you so much for joining us.